Hey, welcome to the 11th episode of Distributed .NET Core course. It's Peter and
Derek.
Today we'll start with the deployment, but we'll not focus on the deployment to the virtual machines or to the Docker. We'll just talk about build services, how you can configure such build service to automatically build your app once you commit your code, for example, to the Git repository, and how you can deal with some potential issues like referencing the other projects that live in different repositories, which of course won't build during this build, and how we can deal with that.
Yeah, basically, you should keep in mind that the way we kind of deal with the continuous integration in this case can be done in multiple different approaches, and that's up to you. Basically, we'll just show you one way of doing this, and but basically would like to show you how you can actually automate your whole I would say publishing process to the repository to make sure that your code is more or less stable, because once you actually start playing with microservices, you'll quickly realize that doing this manually is simply a pain, and at some point it could be even impossible to manage this, and of course this the microservices itself implies, of course, a lot of trouble later when it comes to managing this on the production, or even on the staging environment or whatever. So yeah, we'll start with the basic pipeline, and we'll try to extend this with the next episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe let's open the code.
Yeah.
And let's assume that for our discount service, we would like to use some build server. And again, you have lots of different build services available. You can host them on your own, like TeamCity, Jenkins. You can purchase some paid build services that can be hosted on premise or in the cloud. And here's also a lot of options like Bitbucket pipelines, Azure DevOps.
Yeah, now it's pretty much easier to do, because each provider, the repository, has its own builds process pipeline built in. So as you said,
you can go with GitLab, whatever. I mean, there's lots of services.
Yeah, but the most popular, the third party I think that are Travis and the Appware. These two are really popular.
I think these two are the most popular probably.
Yeah,
and
so
I think Appware even mostly for .NET strict.
Of course I'm speaking about
but still, I mean, most of the build services are pretty similar, because most of them use some sort of YAML configuration. I haven't really seen JSON-based configuration, but I think most of the services use some YAML configuration file. Some of them also offer the GUI. And within this YAML file, you can define your build steps and invoke some scripts and so on. So
that's basically the idea of the continuous integration. This is the first step actually. Then you can extend this in your continuous deployment or delivery process. But the very first step is actually automating this building and later testing. Making sure that your app actually can be run on an environment.
Okay, so should we go through our configuration file now, or should we just briefly describe the Travis CI?
It's up to you. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe let's open the Travis CI website. Okay. Because Travis CI is free for open source projects, so you can use it for open source, integrate with GitHub.
Yeah.
And you can just go to the Travis CI org, which is the version for free. But you can also purchase the paid solution for your private repositories. Sync your account, let's log in with your GitHub account, sync account. And as you can see here, we have synced, for example, our DevMentors organization. And we can easily switch, enable, disable this toggle button on a particular repository, so it becomes available and becomes a part of our build process.
Switching this, I think this is worth mentioning, that switching this toggles does not mean that Travis will automatically, magically do something to build and to test your application. This simply means that, if you have something enabled, that assuming that you'll provide a particular file, Travis will try to execute it. It's not just that this will be done automatically, fortunately. So
Yeah, but I think it's also common for most of the providers, at least that I've worked with. They just look for a particular file, and if the file is in the repository, they will perform a build based on this configuration. So, for example, as you can see, we have enabled most of our DShop repositories, and we also enabled the discount. So maybe let's go to this discount settings.
Yeah.
It's under the customers. Yeah.
Here, yeah.
And in the settings, there are a few things that we can configure. And like one of the more important is below. So for example, you can set up some environment variables here, which is quite useful because, for example, in the next episode, if you would like to talk about Docker and we would like to, for example, push a Docker image with the new version, new tag to our Docker registry, and we don't want to keep these, credentials to the Docker hub or to some other database or repository within our, Git repository, we can just keep it in environment variables.
You will see the example of that usage in a couple of minutes because we'll use the variables for storing the credentials to our feed. So you'll see this in
MyGet,
in a couple of minutes. Yeah, but there's as Piotr said, lots of things to set up. But the most important for us, maybe we should look how this actually looks like. So this is the dashboard for the Travis. I don't know why it's just 5 repositories. Kind of weird.
I think you have to somehow expand it. Maybe they changed something, but
maybe reload. Ha! Reload is the way to expand. So as you see, this is the list of all enabled repositories, and of course there are lots of quite useful information here. The most important is the status of this of the particular build for the particular microservice. So you can see, for instance, that the common package, the last build, was done like 21 minutes ago. So I can expect some fixes here. And this build actually passed. And that was done on the master branch. And you can open a lot of things. And of course, if you click, you can see the whole execution pipeline with lots of details. So of course, if there was some issue, you can actually spot that we had some exception here, and that caused the error, which meant that we did not successfully finish up this pipeline. So this actually is pretty much what you would do in the .NET CLI, but simply this is done automatically. So
Okay, so this is how you can use Travis CI, how you can configure it. And now maybe let's go back to code. So the Travis CI will expect you to have this .travis YAML file in the root of your repository, and based on the file, it will perform a build. Maybe let's increase the font size a little bit.
So
it's a little bit. Okay. So one.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty simple stuff. Language, super user. We want to have this required. Distribution, because in Travis you have different packages or different frameworks for different languages. So for example, here we said that this is Xenial distribution of Linux, and we are running .NET 2.2. And that's like the basic config for our. So the Travis know that we are building the .NET Core application or some library. And below we have branches. If you don't specify any branches here, Travis will build all of the branches. It can be something that you want, the behavior that you expect. But again, if you have a lot of feature branches that you don't really care about, building, then you could just set here some base branches that you want to be built automatically. So for example, in our case, we only want to build master and develop branch. And then we have another few sections. This is really basic config. You can do a much more complex config here. And within a single config, you could define like different steps that perform different builds in parallel maybe. But here it's just a very simple build. So before script, and after success or after failure, and a few others. So before it's like a preparation. So here we just want to ensure that our scripts directory in which we have all of the scripts have this execution right. Then it's our script. So basically the script is what will be performed during this build process. And it can be something as simple. You could basically here pass just a command that will be then consumed by the bash right?
Yeah, this is the shell script is not required
the shell
itself.
Script. Yeah, so you can either provide here a shell script, or you could just provide a file, and within this file could have the whole script, which is a little bit more clear maybe, at least for us. Yeah. So you could basically just simply set .NET build here, and it will try to build the .NET using .NET CLI, right? And after success is, if your build succeeded, then for example, maybe you want to publish some artifacts, then maybe you want to publish your image to the Docker registry, and so on and so on. You also have these notification sections. So for example, you can configure Slack, email, and other notifications channels here. So maybe let's just open our .NET build shell, which lives in this scripts directory.
So
and see
the first one,
here.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course the scripts are put here. So yeah, that was Travis has the relative path to the scripts folder, as you saw. So yeah, this is the first step. So this is actually the one that's put in the script, right?
Yeah, correct. So yeah, very, very simple stuff, right? We have some switch case here. So we have our switch on this environment variable that comes from the build service. And if we are using this different branch, then we might want to use maybe this environment to pull the packages from some other NuGet feed, which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
Which we don't have it here yet. So maybe let's try to actually, just make a commit and try to trigger the build for this service and see what happens.
Actually, I need to make it bigger, and I've just cleared this. So actually, I did some changes. I think we'll just see. Right. So I have some changes. I'll simply commit all of this.
Let's see git status. Maybe let's see the git status will change.
I think that's just CSPry and that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, there are quite a few changes. Find discounts handler, metrics registry. Yeah.
Maybe I did not commit for the last.
Yeah, I think this could be changes from the last.
Okay, shall I put this on some branch and just put the master branch?
Oh, let's just try to commit this and see what happens.
Okay. So let's just add all of this, and let's just call this episode 10 changes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. But there is one push. Actually, there's just one change that was not on this, but that was done on purpose. All right, so we pushed the changes on the master branch, as you see, successfully. And now, if we go to the Travis dashboard, we should see in a minute. Okay, let's go to the So as you see, we have something now happening here. So we triggered our Travis pipeline. So basically, Travis spotted that we pushed some changes, and I think that it's kind of worth to mention how it's done. Basically, when you log in to Travis CI using your GitHub account, it actually integrates your repositories with Travis using the webhooks. So basically, once you push your changes to the GitHub, it actually uses the webhook to notify Travis that we actually did something and that we probably should start executing the pipeline. So as you see, Travis now, hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a while to start this
It
build,
takes a
sometimes
while.
it starts very quickly. Sometimes also Travis might fail if you push a lot of repositories at the same time and there's a lot of builds queued up. So sometimes you may even have to retry the whole build because there's some internal failure, but
Maybe I just, in the meantime, I could show this, what I said, because maybe that's not clear for everyone. If you go to the settings of the particular repository under the webhooks, you will see that there is notify Travis, and that's the way of actually communicating from the GitHub to Travis. And this is done automatically once you actually integrate your organization or the particular repository through the Travis. Okay, let's get back here. Something is going.
yeah.
So this is preparation for now.
And we should see this .NET build
in a minute.
fading soon.
You spoil it. Why? Nah. We're not supposed to know this. Okay. So we can see this. That's the before script, right?
Quickly,
so
yeah. And then
now,
you have this scripts .NET build shell scripts, and it failed. Like a lot of.
We have a lot of errors, and this is like.
But if you scroll up, there is the. Yeah, if you scroll up, there is the reason for this. Before all of the exceptions happened, and it says, if you could zoom in.
Okay.
Maybe on your. Yeah, you could also do it on touchpad, I think. Anyways, we have this common CS approach not found.
Yeah.
So it was
not found. So that's kind of weird because actually, I think that we could.
Can you try to do the local build?
Because that's kind of weird to me because this should obviously work. We can do this either from the script.
From here. Yeah, let's just do it now. Just do it like .NET build here on a solution because it's the same.
Okay. So let's do
.NET build.
Or maybe just .NET restore or build.
Just build.
.NET build. We'll see. So restoring packages.
Nice. Okay.
So this works locally.
Yeah. So
but for some reason this fails.
Yeah. Let's try to do .NET build with -c release.
Yeah, so this indicates that we want to do the same on the release.
It will also work here. Okay, because
that's kind of magic.
No, it was here because we
But I'm saying that this is kind of weird because on both debug and release this works, but for some reason that was not found. And the answer for this can be found in here, right? Here, am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening here?
Just a local project reference, but during our Travis CI build, there is no project reference because it's a separate repository, so it has no idea that 3 labels above its directory there is another project. So if you want to have services which live in a different repositories, then you can use it because otherwise you probably have to use Git submodules and keep everything in a single repository. So then you could reference the other services. I mean, not the other services, but some other shared libraries using the local paths. But here you can't. So you need to look for another way around to solve this.
Yeah. So on this level, we simply share the same file system. Yeah, but the Travis itself, it has simply no idea that.
And we only do it here because it's simple, for local development, local debugging. But in a realistic scenario, that's not what you want to do, right? So you wouldn't have this, even for the local development, you wouldn't have this on your local drive.
Right. So what we can actually do about this? Because for now
there's only one solution left, which is NuGet packaging. We need to pack our common into the NuGet package and publish it on some NuGet feed.
Yeah. So it's basically the same thing that I would say it's kind of funny because this is the very obvious thing when you just think how you can actually share your code with the other developers. It's simply making the Nugget package. But I remember that when I first tried, at first time I faced this issue with this referencing the local projects. I had no idea how I can actually pass this because this seems not obvious to me that much. But we'll simply try to put the common package on Nugget and then reference it from here.
Okay, so maybe for the starters, what we could just do to see if it works. Maybe if you comment out this section, and we could just comment this out.
Yeah.
And instead of project reference, let's try to add a package reference.
Yeah. We'll see here.
Yeah, so let's add a package reference. I think it was called package reference.
I mean, what?
I think it was called package reference, correct?
I'm not sure.
You can look into some other.
No, I can simply switch to Rider. Maybe that will be easier. In the discounts, let's go here and make it bigger, hopefully, like this. Let's see. Yeah, package reference. Okay.
And let's just so the name or is include.
I think that's include.
Okay.
I'll just simply.
Yeah. So let's include the DShop.
Let's include.
Okay. So let's include the DShop.common.
Right.
And underscore because it's not like a release. Release or production ready package, and we could also specify a version here.
Yeah.
So where do we get this?
Shall I go for the wildcard like this?
Depends. Because in this scenario we'll use the version from the MyGet. I mean, sorry for a little bit of the chaos because we have one version on the NuGet, and we have one version on the MyGet. And and we have on this on a NuGet simply because it's easier to build, because for the MyGet you also have to specify the MyGet directory, but maybe let's try to go with the MyGet. Okay, so let's assume that we'll want to use the latest version of the DShop common underscore package.
Yeah.
And we have this one dot asterisk wildcard, so look for any version which is 1 dot, for example 4, 5 or something else, the highest version. And we want to get this package from the NuGet. So
from MyGet, this is from MyGet.
Yeah, I mean the NuGet feed, which is MyGet in our scenario, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's maybe open our MyGet now. Let's just prove that we have such package.
Or should I publish this first to see whether this works? I don't know.
We'll try it with the local build first.
Okay.
So let's open our MyGet feed just to prove that we have something like this, and we have packages here. And later on we'll talk about how we can publish packages to MyGet. Yeah.
So basically the MyGet is, as you said, this is simply the feed, and this is free for open source, I believe.
Yeah, and paid solution for private feeds. So
So we can actually store here your Nugget packages, and of course, if you want to store this on a Nugget, this is of course up to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can house your private feed, and we have to. Could you open the feeds? If you scroll up, we have actually 2 feeds here.
More feeds, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, more. But yeah, basically we have two base feeds for the DShop. One is called DNC DShop, the other one is DShop Dev. Yeah. And we did it because it's simpler to have the distinct feeds, and in those feeds keep the packages that might have different versions but have the same name, because otherwise it's not really that simple, if possible at all, to have some wildcard that also look for the name as part of this wildcard. You can do wildcard by versioning, but I'm not sure if it's even possible to do the wildcard something like 1 dot asterisk dot minus dev. I think it wouldn't work. So we just have two different feeds for different build types. So one for the development and one for the, let's say, production builds. Yeah, so we can open either of these. Let's maybe go with the master one, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
And Yeah.
So here's the common package and the current version
yeah,
of this.
you can open the package. Yeah, and here, if you scroll up, there is the feed URL. Yeah, so you can just copy this HTTPS along with the JSON indexation. And yeah, so as you can see, we have 10150 latest package available. So now let's try to do the .NET build one more time.
Yep.
And we can pass the -- source. And you can pass as many -- source arguments as you wish, which will be your NuGet package source.
Yeah, because by default, when you do .NET Restore or .NET Build with no cache or whatever, this will look for the nugget.org because that's the default feed for the NuGet packages. But since we use the MyGet, we need to specify this because otherwise, basically .NET CLI would have no idea where to look for the package.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
So shall I execute this?
Yeah, let's try to do the build now, and it should actually work. And you should see that it's trying to. I mean, this is storing the package from the MyGet feed in this scenario.
I'm not quite sure whether this actually, maybe that was cached. I can specify it also no cache, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe that would.
No, it said installing DShop common. I think it's fine. I think there was no cache.
There was no cache?
Yeah, it said installing DShop common, so I think it downloaded it. But you can see there is difference.
All right.
So, yeah, and so right now we could actually we could try to fix our Travis CI build. So maybe
maybe we should just show how actually the common is published to this feed, because we just you guys see that this is already on this MyGet, but maybe it would be good to explain how it's actually done. So if you go to this common package, you can also see that we have this travis.yaml. So this is the same story that was that we had with the discounts, and this is the same thing. So the scripts build and .NET pack, but the difference is here that we have this step. So after we actually build the common and we are assuring that this actually compiles, we are doing this thing, right?
Yeah, the .NET pack script, which is also quite similar. So at first it goes to our DShop common directory, and here we have this .NET pack command, which will build our package. And as you can see, we have this /p : package version, where we can specify the version of the package, because you could either specify the version package in the metadata. So for example, if you were to open the common CS project, just the file. So for example, here you can specify the version, property group, version, prefix, and so on. And if you run the .NET pack, it will create this package under this version. But again, if you are doing everything automatically, you would either have to remember what version prefix to put there, or inject it somehow, maybe during the build or during the committing, which can be quite cumbersome. So instead, what we're doing here, we're just saying package version, for example, equals 1.0 and then Travis build number, which will be always at least higher, one incremented by one by another build. So it can be version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And this is
so that's why you saw that there was version like 150 or something. So that's simply because we had that many executions of this particular pipeline.
Exactly. And again, simple switch. So based on a Travis branch, we are either publishing it to the to the dev or release production ready MyGet feed. And here I will also passing the MyGet API key, which actually comes from our environment.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to
on the Travis.
Show. Yeah, so if you see, Piotr mentioned at the beginning of this episode that Travis allows you to keep your environment variables, and you saw that there was some credentials for the Docker in a discount service. But when if you go to the DNC, and by the way, you should see that I think that the folks should have access for the dashboard. Just the dashboard.
I think dashboard is for sure open and available for everyone.
Yeah, so we can just see, but the command itself, as you see, we have this MyGet API key and the dev API key. When we specified this particular key for publishing the packages to my feed, and in my feed, it's also worth mentioning that here I'm not quite sure where is this. If we go to feeds, I believe, and let's say this feed. So here are some options actually.
Don't go to
as
details.
You see, we have this feed details, and that's what the URL that are actually put in. Oh, sorry, API key.
You just exposed the API key.
that was something. I need to. Yeah, maybe I will edit this.
Yeah, you can click on change API key, and then we have to refresh our.
Jesus
we
Christ.
Have to refresh.
I want to just show this part. Actually, I wasn't.
Okay. We'll fix it after recording. So feel free to use this API key. It won't be valid anymore.
No, maybe I'll just blank it or whatever. I don't know whether I can actually do this. Yeah, but basically what I wanted to say is just in MyGet you can take the particular URLs to your feed here, and also API key for that you can put then on your CI.
You can also open. Yeah, you can also open the build services, and you can also integrate, for example, MyGet with your build services. You can add a build source, and it will also listen for the incoming, for example, GitHub webhooks. But we decided that on our side, we just want to build it locally during the Travis CI build, and then just push it using NuGet push. Yeah,
but it's all as we said, this is all up to you. You can do something slightly different. It's all fine, but it's important to know this. So far, just to sum up, we have this common package that has the whole shared infrastructure, and it's used in every microservice. Once we actually commit some changes and push it to GitHub, where the Travis, after actually building the whole package, this actually publishes the Nugget to this MyGet feed. Depending on the branch, this can be put either here in the DShop or DShop dev, depending on the branch. And then having this on a feed, we can actually use it as you see somewhere in there. Like this. So simply, that's exactly what we would do when referencing the Nugget packages from the Nugget org. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So should we right now try to commit the changes and start the build once again?
I think so. So let's do the.
Is this CS process? Oh, okay, it's saved. Okay, it's fine.
I think so.
But one more thing that you need to do. You need to open the scripts and pass this source because it's not in the script.
Wait. I just need to
open the script for our .NET build for discounts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you need to pass here the source.
Yep. Oh.
Remove the space. Yeah.
And I don't know whether I have this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's save this. And the discounts. I know why this is simply. Let's don't save it. I just see whether this is actually. Oh Christ. Okay. Yeah. So we have two changes. Let's add them and. So fixed is pry. Push. Yeah, we'll see whether this actually does the job. Yeah, so this is pushed right now. And here we should see in minutes that this actually started the new pipeline.
Yeah. In the meantime, one thing off topic, but it's something that you also might want to include. Can you open, any GitHub repository? It can be common or anything else.
Yeah.
And if you scroll down, there should be these two. As you can see, we have our build status. So you can also add this cool feature. You can you open the README MD just here? You can open it here. Yeah. And just as a row. Yeah, as you can see, you have this build status, and you can simply pass it like this as a link to an image, and based on the current build status, it will render the build, which can be also informative.
Yeah, think that where is this? That was. I'm not sure where was the URL for this status.
Yeah, there was mentioned something in the docs, but I don't remember where.
Yeah, but if you'll type something, yeah, but for it's placed in a different, yeah, depending on the provider. But I think that most of the providers actually have this feature. Yeah, so simply if you'll just type something like my provider status label something, it should be, and in most cases this is different formats. So this could be for the markdown, for something else, and it's a row row URL something. Yeah, so
let's see.
We have some discounts.
You can open the logs. Just click on this 20. Yeah, we have logs below. But I think it's all. It just started. Well, it took some time to load the first build.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing actually that is handy. In the meantime, we can actually do this. If you go, one more thing which is very cool about the whole CI is the fact that by default, when you actually configure your Travis with GitHub, this gives you the status checks of your, let's say, pull requests or the particular commit. So in this case, I did some changes and create a pull request, and you can see that this actually builds. So when the Piotr would do some code review or something, he would know that my code actually builds. And of course, it could be you could put here way more steps in the particular pipeline. So this could be doing the build, then unit tests, integration tests, and end-to-end tests, whatever you want. So for the person who reviews your code, this is way more informative and more painful, less painful, sorry, for doing the whole review and making sure that your code is actually stable. So this is a cool feature that actually comes out of the box. Mm-hmm. So this failed, or I'm.
Let's see what happened.
Let's see. So we have still unable to find package, I think.
The question is, was the can you open? Let's see, was the okay, so we installed the DShop command. App metrics, that's interesting.
But the URL looks good because I was looking for the, but I know what's the issue. Okay.
Did you forget to add the base source for the Nugget?
Once you actually provide your source here,
it overrides the Nugget
you need
source.
to actually add the default one for the Nugget package as well. Because it's not like .NET CLI will look for Nugget org and additionally for this. I think that this, once you actually specify source, you need to specify for each source. So you need to also specify for the
I always specify a source for the Nugget as well. That's true. So you can just you can open some other script. Oh no, I think it doesn't have the Nugget source anymore. So just type in the Nuggets Nugget org feed URL. Yeah. You could also use the Nugget config files, so you don't have to specify it as the source parameter during the build or run or restore.
Nugget config is also the
Nugget config file for repository. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah. And just keep the Nugget config in the repository.
I think that this should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also think so.
Good job. Okay, so let's add the file and.
Final fix.
Yeah. Right. Let's do it one more time. This is going to be exciting. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the dashboard.
Okay.
Oh, it already started the new one. That was quick. Think.
Let's see. Yeah, it's not running yet.
Queuing. Yeah, booting virtual machine. Okay.
Okay, so while it builds, maybe one thing that is left to talk about. If you open our CS proj,
Yeah.
you can see
for the
here-
discounts, right?
Yeah, for discounts.
Yeah.
You can see here that right now we are working with the NuGet package, and you could also establish even the local NuGet package registry. So you could, just locally deploy your, DShop common repository and build a local NuGet package, and get the latest change from your local NuGet feed instead of getting the data from the MyGet feed, which can take some time. Because when you are developing something locally, you want to have the changes, already there. You don't want to wait for some build service, to publish a package and then you are able to get it and use it on local host after 5 minutes usually. At least if you are working with some, solutions that are not very complex. So let's assume that for our, production and deployment scenario, we want to use the package that comes from the hosted Nugget feed. But for the local development and for debugging especially, we want to use the CS proj that is available as a project reference. So we can do here a very simple switch, and based on the build or run, if it's running or building in debug, we want to use the CS proj as a project reference, and if we are building it or running it in a release mode, we want to use it as a Nugget package.
Yeah. So it's yet another copy paste.
Yeah.
Me, but I'm simply just let me grab this.
Do we need this? By the way, do we need this open tracing? Won't it fail without this one? I think we also need to add this, right, or not?
The open tracing for anywhere.
For discounts.
I don't think I added the open tracing here.
Let's just ensure. Okay.
So it just simply will not give you, the particular. But no. For this, this will work. But simply the Jagger will add the tracer, but will simply have no. Let's call this metrics, but this is not metrics.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so let's grab this and go here. So I'll simply do.
Let's just change the version because it uses the Nugget version because it's
without
configuring MyGet. But let's just say we have this one.
Yeah, so this is this whole magic. So simply, as Piotr said, once we are actually in a debug, this will look for the local version of the this basically is the project reference using this relative path. But once we actually try to build this or restore in a release, this will look for this package.
Yeah. So you can do two builds from a console: .NET build and .NET build with -series flag, and see if there's a difference.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Okay. So let's start with the .NET build.
Yeah, it should restore the local project.
Yes. Because it's
and this is something that you use for debugging. You're running in a debug mode, and it will work with local project. And
so now let's do .NET build -c and release.
Yeah, and this is something that goes to your build service.
Oh yeah, okay. So in this case,
what's the version? 1150. The question is, do we have the Jagger here or not?
I think that this is looking for Nugget, not the.
I think you need to add the source here as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So .NET be released with source. So yeah, this is where you might want to prefer adding nugget.config file in your repository instead of typing the source.
Where's the feed? Okay, I can take it from here, I believe.
Oh, I think it built. Cool.
Oh, okay. This build. So this actually succeeded, as you see.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. I just want to go here because I don't want to show our API once again. API key.
What are you looking for?
Is it the feed here?
Feed? Yeah, you can get the feed from our script .NET build. We have it in script.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah, it's here.
Not here, but the pack itself.
Yeah, pack or build, whatever.
Yeah, okay. No, it's just here, right? I believe. Right?
Just copy it from build. It's in the build. You
Okay.
also need to add.
Oh yeah, okay. This is here. So let's do this. Jesus Christ. How hard is that?
Yeah, Alt-Z for the win.
No, I guess just have too much. I'm not sure whether the Nugget is. No, okay, but we can leave it as it is because this should not be an issue here. Yeah, this works now. But yeah, we could skip the Nugget because we actually had one reference here, so that was only this part that actually mattered.
Yeah, and if you open our .NET build, we can do one more fix here to our .NET build script. Because in this script, we want to use, because you can see we have this MyGet _env variable. So we want to use, different package coming from different feed based on a, for example, branch. So for the develop branch, we want to use the -dev feed. So within our DNC DShop, let's just fix this. So if you edit our DNC-DShop within the script, so just add the $sign and MyGet_env here.
Yeah.
And it will add this -dev if it's actually develop branch. Otherwise, it will ignore it. It will just add here an empty string which does nothing, and it will take a package from our DNC DShop production ready feed. So just save it.
Okay, so this is saved and
save this new CSproj.
Yeah, the CSproj is also, I think, saved. So let's see. Yeah, so CSproj is. So this is the conditional, and this is the fix to.
Yeah, let's add everything, commit.
What?
Let's add everything and commit and push the changes.
Yeah. So let's add everything and git commit.
And
the message, right, fixed.
Yeah. And maybe let's also check out the develop and do a rebase master command and also push develop, so we can see there will be like two builds running parallel for different branches. By the way, before you do it, do we have the latest package for on the develop branch for DShop common? Because I'm not sure if it's there.
You mean what?
For the DShop common
or what?
Yeah, do we have the latest version of the package for on the develop branch or not?
No, I created the pull request for this just to show this status code. But this will actually, I can actually rebase this because I want to show this integration stuff.
Yeah, so we can push the master branch, but we can push the develop branch after this one builds because we need the common package updated on the -dev MyGet feed.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, so yeah, there should be a build running on the DShop common, I think.
Yeah. Or maybe this is queued for now. I don't know.
No, because it doesn't show if there's a build running on different branch than than master one. So you can see there is last build in progress, but the default branch is master. So yeah, so you can click on this one.
Yeah, it's kind of. Yep. So hopefully this will.
Yeah, it has to work.
Yeah, there's discounts. Right, discounts is about to start.
Yeah, and like within this, Travis, YAML, or Bitbucket pipelines or DevOps YAML configuration files, you can specify like a much more complex or much more advanced flow. You can also use .NET test commands to perform some unit test. You can then, for example, run .NET test and use ASP.NET Core integration testing for integration tests. and your whole pipeline could last a few minutes, but you can also run tests here, which is also quite common and most often desired.
Yeah.
But we don't
Right,
have
so we have
tests
some-
for this service, so sorry for that.
Is this running the Docker script?
Um,
Okay, because this is
Yeah, maybe we.
maybe
by
I didn't
accident.
remove this. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we'll
maybe
get
we
to
didn't
this.
Yeah, we'll get to this. Anyways,
that's
this
another-
one worked again, so this
Yeah.
is cool. Let's see what's going on with DShop common.
Yeah, it's about to start in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so we can
Oh yeah,
see
you can also This is the specified
.NET build
environment.
already completed or not yet.
I'm not sure.
Almost.
Yeah.
And .NET Pack, yeah. Completed. Can you expand
I
it?
think
you
that
did.
I can actually expand.
Okay,
this.
so we have 1.5.2, a new version of the package, and now let's commit our develop branch of the discount service and see what happens.
Do we have this?
Because-
Oh no.
Yeah, and
let me
just do rebase master and push.
Yeah. See this.
Yeah, we did it in a like opposite direction. We did a rebase, master to develop instead of pushing changes on develop and then do, git master and then rebase develop. But you get the idea. So that's not how you do things. Where at first you push the production and then you think about your development environment. You do the things the other way around, but that's not the point here.
Yeah, we should give it a name. I don't know. Maybe reversed git flow or something. Yeah. Don't be scared of pushing to production. Yeah.
Yeah, and
so now we have something. Yeah, so basically if we click.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here will be that right now our .NET build will use this dev feed because we added this MyGet environment variable, injected it into our URL based on a simple script, and
we should see this in a
package.
second, hopefully. So basically. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff actually here. Yeah,
and also just one thing, because previously on Travis CI it was configured by setting the Ubuntu, but from version 2.2, at least what I've recently checked, you need to use this Xenial distribution because there was no .NET Core 2.2 with this Ubuntu somehow.
Okay.
So, just a thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, but underneath here, this uses the virtual machine, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's even better. It creates, container in which it runs your whole build. So, for your build, it usually creates, some probably Docker container and executes your whole build in this container. But as you will probably see in the next episode, you could also create your build service simply within a single Docker file. But this is maybe for another episode.
Yeah, we already have like 1 hour of the recording, so
yeah, that's for sure.
The average is still the same, I see.
Okay, let's see. Restoring packages.
Yeah. And let's see.
It worked. I'm not sure if you can see the URL here of the restore. But
the source.
Can you? Yeah, there should be a source somewhere. Maybe at the beginning. Let's see.
Maybe I can expand. This is a script.
Okay.
I'm
it's
not
probably
sure why
somewhere
I
here.
Can't see this. Whether we can.
Can you try to just Control F and search on the side, see if it's somewhere here, like my.
Yeah, maybe it's just that was dev, right?
Yeah. Or
maybe
dash dev.
Like this.
Okay.
No.
It's probably somewhere in the logs. You could probably dig into it somehow, but.
Yeah, it's too much dev, I think. Yeah, but you get the idea, I think.
Yeah.
No.
It works, so.
Yeah, it works.
Otherwise, it would fail.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today. So with this setup, this allows you to actually make sure that what you actually publish to GitHub works, and you get the idea. You can extend this as much as you want, adding some new steps, like as Piotr mentioned, some unit testing or whatever you want. And of course, we will use this this whole build, this whole execution pipeline for extending this and doing some other stuff related more to Docker.
But this is a good starting point, and with this and these two things, with some Nugget feed and build service, you can produce some artifacts and deploy it to your virtual machines. You don't really have to use containers. You can use some other tools and automate everything, having a build server in place.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for today, right?
Yep.
Okay, so thank you, and see you next episodes. Bye.
Yeah, see you next time.